Okay.
Yeah. Mom, Matt.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. I'm blind. Okay. I just look at the phone. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about the benefits of the ketogenic diet. Okay, right off the bat, you guys know I've been doing this diet for roughly about 1.5 years, 2 years now. A lot of you guys are doing the diet now, reluctantly. But it's a big benefit. Right off the bat, kind of like you look at the rise of obesity and diabetes in America, I feel like everybody should be on some form of the ketogenic diet. It's a pretty easy diet to get started. You basically just cut out sugars, cut out starches, starchy vegetables, starchy fruit, and bread, pasta, and everything like that, and then focus on omega-3 fats instead of omega-6. We'll get more into that later. I'm going to go over the 3 things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about what the ketogenic diet is, what I went over a little bit already, but we'll dive into it more. Then I'll discuss kind of the issues with the health of America right now and the world, more focused on America. So the need of the ketogenic diet, and then we'll get into kind of how the ketogenic diet blends in and will help with that, and talk about the vision of what the world would look like if everybody was on keto or some form of it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the need. As you know, Americans have a rise in sugar consumption. So with sugar consumption comes diabetes, comes heart disease. It comes a lot of issues with obesity. Kind of started back in the 60s and 70s when the sugar industry got pushed in, and that's when everything went low fat. And if you look at everything in your cupboard that says low fat, it's usually high in sugar. So they're telling you sugar is good for you when it really isn't. And that's when heart disease kind of got really big, and everybody was blaming it on fat when fat's really not the issue. According to NBC News, diabetes directly kills more than 71,000 people a year, directly affected with diabetes. Kind of the changes with if we don't progress, it's actually going to get a little bit worse, because as you see, sugar is getting pushed more and more and more. For example, if you were to look in your cupboard, and I'm sure everybody has Lawry's garlic salt in their cupboard. So if you look at the ingredients go by how much is in it. So the first ingredient is the most in there, second, third, and then so on and so forth. The third ingredient in garlic salt is sugar.
Flour salt?
Yeah. So there's no reason for sugar to be in garlic salt. There's enough salt in it as a preservative as it is. It's just the sugar industry's way of trying to push more sugar and more sugar and more sugar. So now that we talk, yeah, go ahead.
Is it Lawry's salt that has the sugar, or is it garlic salt?
It's Lawry's garlic salt. That's the one that has the main ingredient in it. It's the third one on the list.
The red one?
Yeah, the red one. Yeah, we actually have it. All right. So now that we talked a little bit about the need for the change about the ketogenic diet, we're going to talk about the solution. So we talked about a little bit, cutting out sugar, cutting out starchy vegetables, cutting out bread, pasta, soda, and everything like that. With the height in the sugar diet, the body burns more carbs instead of fat. So the need for it is that you're actually going to have mental clarity. So when you switch to it, your mental focus and clarity is going to go up. You're going to have more energy. Your body's going to switch to burning fats instead of carbs. So then you go on a high fat diet. And what that does for you is, an article said that in 2013, this pertains to diabetes, there was a review that when you're on a ketogenic diet, it leads more to significant improvements in diabetes. So it actually counteracts it. They use ketogenic diets. At first, it was used for cancer treatment. It's been used for epilepsy, and it also helps manage weight loss. So the diet's very adaptive. We already talked about it. It's very simple. You just cut out sugars. You cut out pasta. You cut out bread. You cut out starchy vegetables, for example, corn, Potatoes, carrots are a little too high in sugar for the diet, and as fruits go, high sugared fruits such as apples, oranges, bananas, because bananas have a high starch content. Um, a lot of people, now this is where we get into kind of like people say, oh, well, that's bad. That's like this diet that they all heard of. Everybody's heard of the Atkins diet. So I like to go over a little bit of the main differences between the Atkins diet and the keto diet. With the Atkins diet, it lets you eat pretty much whatever fat you want. So if you want the bacon, you want, the fried pork and everything like that, that has a lot of omega-6 in it. So omega-6 fat is grain-fed beef. So when you're eating grain-fed beef, you're pretty much eating grain anyways. So that's why you go towards more avocados, grass-fed beef, and stuff that's high in omega-3. So a lot of fish oils and a lot of krill oil, which is high in omega-3 to keep your levels up there, and that will help baseline your ketone levels. You don't want to stay in ketosis all year round because it's not healthy for you. You mainly want to pick 2 months out of the year you want to go in ketosis, and then when you're not in ketosis, you generally just cut out pasta and bread, but you still get a lot of carbs from fruits and vegetables. Like I mentioned before, it's part of the solution is it's high in mental clarity, knocks out diabetes, knocks out heart disease. It actually lowers your bad cholesterol and raises your good cholesterol. So my thing is, if nothing is done, our children's children are going to have problems with more, just like it happened to us when they came around in the 60s and 70s and brought the sugar industry. Look what's happened to America now. If you notice, you go to Europe, if anybody's ever been to Europe, stuff doesn't taste as sweet. You try the bread there, it's not as sweet because there's not enough sugar. Europeans come to America and they try the bread and they're like, this pretty much just tastes like sugar. That's because there's a big difference in it. So that's basically what the ketogenic diet is about. Like I went over how it starts, how to get into it. I went over the need for it, the solution for it, and basically to end it off, the vision of it is to have a world where everybody is healthy, whether it comes down to exercising more or whether it comes down to a ketogenic diet. So next time people go and try to get that fad diet they want to do for New Year's, think about the ketogenic diet. So yeah, that's it.